Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So these days, I see people sharing on the social media about the must-read books to make life better. Now, reading is a good thing. Reading uh, gives us the idea on how to connect the dots in life. How to make things better. But just reading alone doesn't make our life better, isn't it? Even if the book holds the truth, the reference towards truth, it doesn't help us to be free uh, within and outside until the action is applied, until we put ourselves in the process to make the change. Uh, and notice this: when we read books, right? We tend to point fingers at the world, how the world is so fucked up, how the world is so messy. That means how the people are so messy. Reading after reading a book or while reading a book, it's not about pointing fingers at the world. It's about pointing fingers at oneself to see how our own life is unfolding. And from there, if the message is there to sift our own life from the limited view towards more broader view, then we apply those reference in our own life to make our life better. That's the purpose. uh, whether we're reading the how to make $1 million book or how to be spiritually free, again, we tend to point fingers rather than pointing fingers at ourselves. And that's the reason, where our life is, where our own life is limited, where we are going through the struggle, where our life is full of fear, conflict, drama. It's all there. So we need to turn the awareness back to ourselves, and that's the start. Now, again, reading is fine. Reading books is educating oneself. But we must also realize that when we are reading books, we are reading someone's mind, isn't it? We are reading someone's experience. The author is sharing the details on their experience. Even there are reference on how to be part of the freedom, how to create a freedom. We are still reading from someone's experience. Even there is a universal reference. So basically, reading the book is inviting someone's mentality, someone's experience in our life. Basically, we're trying to live from someone's belief, someone's experience, rather than trying to figure out on our own. And there's always that upgraded experience can come, because the life itself is that, it's about the growth, the upgraded knowledge, upgraded experience unfolds when there's awareness is involved. So we must also learn to live our own life. Now, just reading is not enough. What we really need to do is reading ourselves. We must read ourselves to understand what's going in our own lives so we can make things better. Reading books, reading people is not going to solve our personal issue. It's not going to help us solve the fear, the conflict, the limitation that we're facing, right now. So, if we turn the awareness back to ourselves and read our own mind, that means if we learn to trace our mind backward to figure out the root cause of the issue in our lives and go further backward on dissolving the root, and able to see the plain sight truth, that itself is, reading yourself thoroughly. Okay, when you read like that, read yourself like that, you will also understand the whole world, the outer world, is basically your own life. Your mind is exactly someone's mind. If you understand your mind thoroughly, you understand the world's mind. And and that's how one can be free from one's own mind that is creating conflict and fear. But if you involve in the outer mind all the time, yes, you can understand a little bit of that world, but that involvement doesn't create the freedom in your life, because that approach is limited. You can only understand certain extent by being part of the outward journey, but you can understand yourself thoroughly, completely, by being part of yourself, through the self-inquiry practice. And that's the way to, be free. That's the way to read yourself thoroughly. And when you understand yourself thoroughly, you know how to be part of the world. You know how to put yourself, in the world, without that limited view, limited perception. The mind doesn't bother you anymore when you be part of the world, when you know who you are. So, read yourself thoroughly in a backward way to figure out the truth, and truth will set you free within and outside. That's the truth. So, reading books is fine. Again, reading books, observing the world is all good. It gives you, engaging. But that doesn't solve the problem that is within. And this is where, you must turn the awareness back to yourself, dismantle your mind. That's the way to read yourself thoroughly, and that will set you free. Again, I'm saying the same thing. Okay, so that's all in this video. Hope this video makes sense to some extent. Trace your mind backward to its root and keep going backward and ask yourself, who am I? And that's the way to be free from your own mind that is creating conflict and fear right now. Anyway, take care for now. See you in the next video. Bye.